Alright, so this is going to be a video about converting measurements. When we're converting measurements, we are going to be looking at converting between customary and metric. We've got this conversion chart that gives us a list of the conversion factors that we're going to be working with. So you're going to look at your problem and we see that we have 6 ounces is equal to so many millimeters. Okay, so we've got to figure out how many millimeters is equal to 6 ounces. Okay, so what you're going to do first is we're going to look at the 2 different measurements that we are comparing, and we're going to set up our labels. So we've got ounces over milliliters, and yes, I want you to set every single one of your problems up just like this. And then first what you're going to do is you're going to look at your conversion chart. I'm going to find fluid ounces and millimeters right here. So I have 1 ounce to 29.6 milliliters. So your conversion factor is going to go right here. On this side, we're going to input the information that is given to us, and we have 6 ounces. Okay? We're looking for how many milliliters is in 6 ounces, so we're going to put an X right here. Next, you're going to cross multiply, and I'm going to draw my arrows. You can do the butterfly if you like that. I always start with my X because I like my X to be on the left. So I have 1 times X is X. You're going to bring down your equal sign. Then I'm going to write this out just so you can see what my thought process is, and I want you to do that too. I have 29.6, and we're going to multiply that times 6. Okay? Then you're going to come over here, and you're going to line them up. So 29.6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 9 is 54 plus 3 is 57. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 5 is 17. Now we're going to look at our decimal. We've got one number behind the decimal, so we're going to move this over once. And now we've got X equals 177.6 milliliters. And this is how your answer should look as well. Okay. So with this problem, whenever we cross multiplied, we had a number to where 1 was multiplied by X, which is just X, and we already had our multiplication set up for us. But it's not always going to work out like that. So let's look at a different problem. Let's say we're looking for how many gallons are in 10 liters. So we are going to set up our labels first. So we're going to put gallons and liters. And remember, it doesn't matter which label goes on top of the other, as long as you have them the same on both sides of your proportion. This right here is your proportion. That shows that 1 ounce and 29.6 milliliters is equal to 6 ounces and 177.6 milliliters. So anyways, it doesn't matter which label goes on top, it doesn't matter which label goes on bottom, as long as you have them set equal to each other. Okay? So we're going to look at our conversion chart and find gallons and liters. I have 1 gallon is equal to 3.79 liters. So your conversion factor goes here. Then on this side, we're going to input the information that's given to us. So I have 10 liters, and we're looking for gallons. Okay? Now you're going to cross multiply. And I always multiply my X first. So I have 3.79x. I'm going to bring down my equal sign. 1 times 10 is 10. So now I've got a coefficient that does not equal 1. I've got 3.79x equals 10. So what you've got to do is you've got to isolate this variable. So we've got to get this x by itself. That way we can solve for it. So what you're going to do is you're going to divide this side by the same number because they cancel each other out, leaving x by itself. And whatever you do to this side, you've got to do to this side. So I'm going to divide this side by 3.79. Now whenever we rewrite it, we have x equals 10 over 3.79. Okay, now this looks familiar. We've done this before. In order to solve this, we're just going to top in, bottom out. Okay. You'll know that whenever we've got a decimal, we've got to move it over. Since we moved this one over twice, we've got to move this one over twice. Don't forget to add your zeros and bring up your decimal. Okay. So we've got to do some multiplication here. 379, how many times does it go into 1,000? It goes into 1,000 2 times. 2 times 379 is 758. Okay. Now we are going to come all the way over here and borrow. That way we can subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 5 is 4. And 9 minus 7 is 2. We've got to bring down our 0. So now we're looking at 379, how many times it goes into 2,420. Now I know that these are big numbers, but you're going to have to learn how to work with these big numbers. 379 goes into 2,426 times. 6 times 379 is 2,274. Now we're going to have to subtract. Okay. We're going to have to borrow from our 2, add a 1. 10 minus 4 is 6. I'm going to borrow from my 4. 11 minus 7 is 4. 2 minus 2, or 3 minus 2 is 1, and then 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay, we're going to add another 0, bring it down. Now we're looking at 1460. 379 goes into 1460 3 times, which equals 1137. And you can stop here. If you've got a whole number, you can stop at 2 digits past the decimal. Okay, so our answer is equivalent to 2.63 gallons. Okay.